Ever since Hurricane Harvey hit Aransas Pass, the city has been busy with the demolition of several abandoned structures as part of an effort to get rid of dangerous, dilapidated buildings.
It's been a project that the city has been primarily focusing on to address collapsing structures, dilapidated structures, anything that's posing a threat to our community. We've been tasked by the council to go out in our community to address these issues.
Aransas Pass has targeted more than 250 properties for demolition. Once a property is deemed unsafe, it can be condemned, and that can lead to demolition.
We have had at least 160 demolitions that's made the list. We have, as of right now, we have 29 open cases. We've closed, within the last few months, we've closed out roughly about 60 of them, meaning that they've been abated by the property owner. So the first goal for the city is to get the property owners responsible for their properties. So out of all the completed demolitions, the city basically has paid nothing towards these demolition costs so far. We are coming up on our demo docket where we're coming across properties that the property owners are not wanting to take responsibility. So we have to begin a process to take them to civil court through our city attorney, and that's a fee that we're going to have to pay for, but we'll get that back once the property gets purchased or the lien gets paid off on that property.
The big reason the city is pushing for these demolitions of vacant buildings is safety.
The number one reason we're focusing so hard on dilapidated structures, it poses a risk. It's a hazard to our residents and the visitors that come to our community. You're looking at fire hazards, you got issues with squatters squatting on these properties, so your crime levels are going to be going up potentially on these properties. So that's one thing that the city, the police department, we're wanting to focus on, is to eliminate those hazards to our community.
The city relies on help from outside sources to notify them of code violations. This information comes from police and firefighters, tenants, neighbors, and the general public who drive through town and sees these problems.
Another reason, it helps beautify our community. It makes room for more advancement, new homes to go up once these structures go down. So it's definitely a growth aspect of it as well.
Property owners are responsible for the cost of the demolition if the city is forced to level a home. The city will do it, but put a lien on the property.
So if property owner, once we start discussing with them and they have a financial issue where they can't get the structure down, the city and the city attorney will review the case and work up an agreement with council and that property owner for the city to do the demolition. Once we get to that process, they'll draft up an agreement between the city and that property owner to make monthly payments back to the city to prevent a lien getting put on that property.
The city of Aransas Pass is still making plans to have even more abandoned structures demolished within the next few months.
The property owners that we've had so far, I'm going to say at least 90% of them are complying. They understand that their structures are dilapidated. They pose a hazard to our community. So they're pretty receptive of working with the city on getting these structures down at their expense.